Hello, it's nice to have you back in my channel again. In this video, I would like to share with you my exploration in combination with Mike Ty's Virtual Tour H 2.0. In the Virtual Tour H 2.0, what fascinated me most about the interior architecture shooting in combination with the flashlight and 360 photography. You know that I love one-shot 360 camera a lot, and I just want to try to in combination with the signature looking with the one-shot 360 camera. And in this video, you're gonna know everything about the behind-the-scenes technique, and I will also share with you my raw data so that you can exercise by yourself. And here you can see I am in this place. This is a very nice looking interior hotel. It's really fantastic. I'm gonna try to shot with my QooCam 8K with my super long selfie stick. First, let's take a look at the interior of this hotel. This is just so beautiful. And a very large bed, very nice living room, and some very beautiful painting on the wall. Now you can see inside this hotel is pretty warm, and especially when I turn on all the lights, it's pretty warm, and outside is standard daylight. I didn't bring a flash with me because I just want to travel light and lightweight. Alternatively, I have brought this very small LED light. So I just want to try to shot a combination with this portable LED light and my one-shot 360 camera to capture such beautiful scenery during my travel. And I'm gonna use this VIJIM R70 portable RGB light to stimulate this flashlight effect. You see that? And I can also control the color temperature. Now the temperature is around 6000 K. I use QooCam 8K as an example, but you should know that you can use any one of 360 camera, including a CWD1, an Insta360, or some other brand. And by the latest firmware, now we have the second generation SuperHDR. You can capture raw data and with in-camera stitch. But to capture a very stunning shot, you don't want to use the in-camera stitch. To enable the DNG, it's critical to capture in SuperHDR mode. And I use the internal storage because it works faster than the external TF card. With SuperHDR mode, you should know that the camera will automatically capture a sequence of shots. And if you want to know more about the SuperHDR 2.0, you can refer to my video down in my description. And the camera will lock the ISO to 100 so to guarantee that you'll capture the best possible quality with your camera. Okay, the other thing I want to share with you about to capture the interior shot with one-shot 360 camera is the point of view or the angle of view. So let's take a look at once again my first point of view in this bedroom. Here I put my camera in that place, as you can find in this place. With this point of view, the QooCam 8K is just invisible in the mirror, but this is a very crucial point. It's capture a virtual tour image at this point of view. Not only you can skip your shadow in the mirror, but just imagine your viewer will see more of interesting content in the reflection of the mirror. So the mirror is a very interesting part. I would like to put my camera in between the mirror, intentionally to let the mirror see my camera. But here you can see in this bedroom, there is just not that interesting in the mirror. If the mirror stays in the middle of the room, I think just to put your camera in the middle of the mirror is a best possible viewpoint. But here, I will just skip a little bit because that will save me a lot of time in post. I don't have to remove the camera. One is about the stitching line arrangement. Here you can see this is my final shot, the final position. I have arranged my camera in this orientation. Why? Because if I want to take the advantage of the signature looking, I have to make sure that I could capture such as the bed in a whole sphere of a single lens. So by arranging the camera in this orientation, I can guarantee that this lens, I could say that this is the front lens. The front lens will capture a whole bed in a single shot so that I can manipulate the light with my portable LED light on the back and light up as many as I want, and also guarantee the best possible imaging quality, because in the middle of the single fisheye, you can get the best possible imaging quality. You can see the light is beautiful, but outside you can see the color temperature has a huge difference. But that is not a big issue. I will show you in the post. And you can see, double check if I'm visible in the final shot. Actually, I was hiding this spot. I'm very clever, right? And now let's gonna capture the first shot. Okay. Now the camera is capturing the 24 DNG shot in a sequence with the ISO 100 and automatically stack in the camera. Camera could capture any visual shot that we can manipulate the light in between each of the bracket frames. And we can also preview the final result in the shot. You can see it is pretty awesome, right? I want to make it more dramatic, and I also want to make it more signature looking. So next up, I will put my LED panel light in the scenery to light up. Let's take a look at that. I want to light up the bed and also the TV set, the table, and also something on the wall, because the curtain is also very beautiful. But I still want to guarantee that I could capture all the details outside the windows. So I will go to the DNG8, and I will also go into the DNG8, capture a menu shot outside the windows. Here I will use very fast shutter speed to make sure that I can capture all the details outside the windows. Don't use the timer because now I am invisible in this one. Okay. So this DNG8 shot is just for the highlight outside the windows. Okay, to capture the shot with signature looking, I have to take out my light and set it to the daylight. You see that? This is my setup about the LED light. Next up, I will give you not only just the screen capture, but also light up the scenery in the live preview, and also capture with this my Sony ZV-1 so that you can see all the behind the scenes shot. Okay, so first up, let's light up the bed. It's around 50 seconds, I think. I'm gonna give the best possible result. Let's see the interactive looking. Let's bounce in the light. Oops, in the bed. But this time I will use the daylight, because I just use the daylight to light up all the scenery, right? And I don't have to worry about I don't have to be worried about in the shot, because I can always use some manipulation to get rid of myself and all the stuff. Oops! But to maintain the best brightness, I will also use auto. Okay. And you see that? Take it light. And you can see the bed looks pretty awesome in this direction, right? In this direction, okay? And I just want to make it more a warmer tone. Let's take a look at where we want light up. And yeah, the table, right? Generally speaking, once you have finished all these captures, you can just enable the in-camera RAW Plus. That will save you a lot of time, because all these shots which was captured in DNG8, you can literally just capture that. Next up, let's jump back into my MacBook Pro. Gonna share with you my screen capture and to share with you every step. What I was thinking about is kind of like signature looking. Okay, here you can see this is all a photo I've captured with my QooCam AK. As you can see that I have already applied the in-camera RAW Plus and the better capture with Extra DNG8. Okay, here I can open them all in the camera RAW and all the 17 RAW data. We're gonna focus on these photos. And here you can see this is SuperHDR result. This is +0. It is -3. As you can see, all the detail in the highlight, the blown out area outside the windows has been retained very well. And this is +2 for the interior capture. The detail, the exposure is pretty awesome, right? Basically for the highlight. And later on, I manipulate with the exposure different settings to manipulate with the lighting inside the interior shot. So first, let's concentrate on this one. Normally speaking, I will use auto fix settings right in the Adobe Camera RAW because it has already done a pretty nice job for me. You can see a little bit of the camera actually. And burn down the highlight. Okay, not that much. And add a little bit more black. Add more depth of feeling. Add a little bit more of the shadow to make it more vivid. Add more depth in your photograph. And later on, I will add a little bit more of the texture to add a little bit more sharpness, but not over sharpen that. Around 20. And lower down the saturation a little bit because sometimes when you want to share a virtual tour, capture the interior shot, you want to make it looks less saturated. Then you want to maintain an accurate color, and the accurate color normally looks like a little bit less oversaturated. Yeah, this one looks great. And synchronize the forward capture because this capture will, this one was basically for the outside. And for this one, the force capture, the capture with a DNG8 capture only for the highlight, this one is a little bit different because in this shot, we want to bring back all the details outside the windows. So the temperature should be daylight so that you can see, we can bring back all the detail at the right amount of color tone outside the windows. A little bit more because in this shot, we only focus on the highlight. And when you see the shadow inside this shot, you can see it a little bit cool. So add a little bit more color temperature to make it looks awesome. Okay, that is basically to color correct the blown out area. And bring back a little bit more. Yes, and that's it. That's it. Okay, and next up, we're gonna focus on this manipulation on the light. Here, also, I will use auto at first, and I want to bring back every one of detail I have based on my manipulation. So I will not overexpose, bring down a little bit, add for texture based on my observation for the QooCam AK, better put it at 20. And later on, use some optics, remove the chromatic aberration, and synchronize all these shots. Okay, so with this manipulation, we can guarantee that every part of the photographs gonna looks pretty awesome, right? Okay, next up, we're gonna export all these files in RAW, in TIFF format. Want to maintain the best of quality. Also, you can export as a JPEG as many as you want. But here, I will show you with the Adobe RGB and the depth 16-bit per channel to maintain the best possible colored bit depth. So the ideas behind this signature looking is actually a light composition to relight the whole scenery with different kind of light, field light. Of course, flashlight works the best because it has a very high brightness and it's also very portable. So Mike Tai used the flashlight in combination with DLSR. That is a very professional architecture shooting styles. Okay, next up, let's jump right back into the Aurura HDR. On the basis of the SuperHDR result, drag and drop the 3 images, -3, 0, and +2. Don't click on auto alignment because we are actually shot on a tripod. Here you can use the chromatic aberration reduction to save more time in post. Okay, click on HDR. Lightning fast, the software will generate a starting point for us. This is gonna save you a lot of time, bring back almost all of the details in the dark and in the shadow. At the same time, reduce the noise. So now you can see this is a pretty amazing starting point, right? And we can have some fine-tuning parameters based on the sliders on the right. Your HDR, we're gonna export this result directly to Photoshop. So you don't have to save as a standalone TIFF file. Here is our light manipulation result, and tools, Photoshop, load files into Photoshop layers. And Bridge, we're gonna export these files into individual layers in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, later on, let's open the QooCam Studio, drag and drop this JPEG file directly into the image. Yeah, so far so good. Turn on grid lines to double check about this different horizontal line. We'll double check if the horizontal line remains straight. Click on defringe and directly hit render with on stitch panel output. Render all of the images. Okay, and after a few seconds, we should get the final result. And also drag and drop these 2 files into the layers for us to mask out the stitching errors if possible. Okay, so let's double check whether there is something wrong with bright areas. Okay, so far so good. And here's another one. Here's another stitching line. The stitching is really, really amazing. Look at that. I'm pretty satisfied with the result. Okay, so after some Nadir patch, some other stuff, I could finally export. So before export, you can use individual layers to make some Nadir patch. Here you can see that. It's pretty simple to do the Nadir patch. Use the patch tool. Okay. Delete and merge. This should be my final result with this image. And finally, you can add even more levels of curve adjustment to make it look more vivid. And that is all for this video. I hope you can learn something and improve yourself by making the most of your own One-Shot 360 camera. Down in the video description, I will also share with you the raw image, the 16-bit high-quality raw DNG file with you through the Google Drive. So you can download and try yourself and duplicate the same stunning result with my own approach. And once again, thanks for the Virtual Tour Edge 2.0, especially that signature looking, that is really inspiring. If you want to know more about the signature looking 2.0, please refer to the video. I have also made an interview with other mic tie focused on the Virtual Tour Edge 2.0. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget to thumb up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. More to come in the future. Until next time, bye.